On April 13, Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga held a relevant cabinet meeting, at which it was formally decided to discharge nuclear sewage from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant into the sea. As a close neighbor and interested part of Japan, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China summoned the Japanese ambassador to China to make solemn representations problem on April 15. The Chinese Foreign Ministry made clear that
我们强烈敦促日方认清自身责任，应重新审视福岛核电站核废水处置问题。
The South Korean government stated that it will not tolerate any measures that endanger the health of the people. Nuclear experts from Greenpeace also warn that the carbon-14 contained in Japan's nuclear wastewater is dangerous for thousands of years and may cause genetic damage. For the Japanese government's extremely irresponsible approach, the United States, which has always claimed to protect water security, has decided to support it. The United States believes that Japan's measures appear to comply with globally recognized nuclear safety standards. U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price tweeted, "We appreciate Japan's transparent efforts in deciding to dispose of sewage from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant." Some analysts pointed out that one of the reasons why the U.S. publicly supports Japan is the consideration of the U.S.-Japan alliance. This is a bad geopolitical performance, sending the wrong signal that politics and public opinion can wash away all bad things. While expressing its support, the United States banned the import of Japanese food. Previously, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration updated the 99-33 import warning, including Japan's fresh milk, butter, milk powder, vegetables, rice, fish, meat and poultry, and citrus and pomelo fruits were rejected by the United States. The reason for the prohibition is nuclear pollution. It can be seen from this move that the U.S. government is not really magnanimous in dealing with Japan's nuclear sewage problem. After all, the United States knows the dangers of marine nuclear pollution, and they themselves are the initiators of marine nuclear pollution. From 1946 to 1993, 13 countries including the United States and the United Kingdom dumped more than 200,000 tons of solid nuclear waste into the ocean. Among them, the United States alone dumped at least 190,000 cubic meters of radioactive materials into the North Atlantic and Pacific. As early as 1946 to 1958, the United States detonated 67 nuclear devices in the Marshall Islands and surrounding sea and airspace. Although a large number of islanders fled their homes, they were still seriously injured under the influence of nuclear radiation. Cancer and leukemia were high, and many children were born with congenital diseases. The Los Angeles Times in 2005 also reported that the United States had secretly discarded 64 million pounds of nerve agents and mustard gas agents at sea, as well as 400,000 shells filled with chemical weapons, and more than 500 tons of radioactive waste. It can be said that the United States has burned surrounded by these abandoned weapons. Now it seems that the United States, which supports Japan, how could them not aware of the harm of nuclear sewage discharged into the sea? It's just a pity that neither Japan nor the United States have been able to learn lessons from past nuclear leaks. After all, how can an extremely irresponsible America condemn an extremely irresponsible Japan?